and we're back with another episode of the On The Bench podcast. I am your host, Jay Dan. And today it's a special episode. We've got Tottenham fan on here, Matt. He's not happy with me. He's not happy with me. He's not happy with the 8.5 rating. He's come down. He said, listen, mate, that burger's a 10. You're making that burger a 10. And I got to be honest, bro, man. I have to be honest, man. But yeah, we've got Matt in the building. Thanks for coming down, man. Appreciate it, bro, man. Thank you, man. And also on the bench today, got Mr. Talk to Frank in the building, a.k.a. Mr. Grinch, a.k.a. Mr. Roy Keane, the grumpy man.
Not this week, mate.
Right.
We're into the fifth round.
All right, cool. You happy? Unlike Liverpool, Tone's not here. He done a run on us. He didn't show up because Plymouth got spanked. Plymouth spanked Liverpool, sorry. And also, in the corner next to me, my fellow Gooner, Mr. Pashemi, a.k.a. Mr. Half-Timer. How you doing, Marks, man?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Good,
yeah, just chilling like the boys in Dubai at the moment. No need to worry about these smaller cup competitions.
We shouldn't be in Dubai, bro.
No, we shouldn't be in Dubai.
We should be in the FA Cup.
Yeah, we should be in the
Why
FA Cup.
aren't you in the FA Cup again? What?
Oh, come on, mate. You're not going to get past Plymouth, Argyle, whoever you got
Still milking
next,
it, mate. I'm still milking it.
Oh, you're back? You're back on your hype, yeah?
Of course. Shameless,
yeah,
mate.
At least Rashford's free, isn't he? Freedom.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll cover that. Yeah, we'll cover
Get
that.
into that a bit later. Right, anyway, let's jump into the first topic. We're going to talk about Tottenham. It's going to be very Tottenham orientated today. Obviously, we've got Tottenham guests in the building. How do you feel? You know, out of the FA Cup?
Yeah.
How do you feel, man?
To be honest, it's been a rough 2 weeks, well, 5
Week,
days, really.
5 days, yeah.
Yeah, regarding going out of the 2 cup competitions, especially when, you know, the history of Spurs, where they're a cup team predominantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard, but obviously there's deeper issues than what you see on the football field.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a hard. Actually, it's been longer than that.
You sound like a broken man, mate. I'm not going to lie, mate. You're all chirpy when you got here, like, all right, mate. And then as soon as we start talking about Tottenham, it's like, yeah,
there's deeper issues, and it's stemmed from going back years, if a decade, maybe even longer than that.
I think it's from like black and white TVs.
Not quite.
No, but the current board's been like running the club. Is it right for 24 years?
Yeah,
is that correct?
They've been running it for 24 years, and you know, along the way, you know, they've had few highs. It's not winning trophies, but you know, getting to Champions League finals and having League Cup finals and a few FA Cup semi-finals along the way. But, you know, Tottenham are known to cross the line and win those trophies. Champions League, you know, we was there, we had a chance, obviously. You know, you got to be there to win it. And they were 90 minutes away from that. Obviously, you're playing the 5 times champions of Europe as well, which is a difficult thing. But, you know, the FA Cup, the League Cup, you know, more to it, the FA Cup. You know, I grew up with watching Tottenham win 2 FA Cups, and I was only, at the time, 11, 12, and I've seen 2 FA Cups. I've seen Graham Roberts. I was at the ground that day to see Graham Roberts lift the UEFA Cup. So,
what year was that, sorry?
Well, 84. But, no need for that. But yeah,
the goalkeepers have gloves then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And his name was Tony Parks. And I don't think you've had a goalkeeper since like him. But you know, this is the thing about it. You see, you can take that to your grave.
I agree.
You know, to watch your team win a penalty shootout in your home stadium in that manner. That is what you take to your grave. And what's so disappointing is, you know, you look around, you know, obviously football's all about money, and, you know, you see how the Manchester Cities of this world, and along the way you've got other clubs, but you can't take it away from Leicester City.
Yeah,
they'll go down, they'll play championship football, and, you know, I'm a football fan, and if I was a Leicester City fan, you know, so be it. You know, but then when I go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and I watch my top striker point to the badge to the Spurs fans. That means something. And that is what I'm trying to get across to, is it this day and age of fan base or even the older generation? You know, some are getting brainwashed into this, I don't know what, to be honest. But, you know, that's what it's about. It's about winning. It's about winning trophies. And
that's what we're here for. Everybody wants to win. Even I'm an Arsenal fan myself, and
absolutely,
we haven't won a league in ages. And me growing up, I'm used to Arsenal doing the invincible, winning the league, playing well, winning the FA Cups, and we've been terrible. We're not winning nothing.
But I'm so glad you said what you said, because it brings me on to the point that I've been making on this podcast. Football's changed a lot over the last sort of decade or so, and we've got a lot of teams that are challenging now. It's not just, you know, the top 2 or top 3 that are okay for the league titles. Yeah, most definitely. But when it comes to domestic trophies, the FA Cup, the League Cup, I mean, you know, Man United, I was fortunate enough to see Man United win the League Cup 2 years ago and the FA Cup last year. And I tell you what,
and that's a poor Man United, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. And I tell you what, you try and tell me that means nothing. You try to tell me that means nothing. Of course it means something, because you go to Wembley for the day, you're playing against a good team in Newcastle, you're playing against a top team in Man City, you overcome the odds, you beat both of them, whatever, and you lift the trophy, and that image is here, and it's here.
You take that with you.
Completely agree.
And when you look at, and I'm a football fan, so I know the history of all the top clubs. And when I look at Man United right now, yeah, when you win a League Cup, yeah, you know, you're known to win titles and European trophies and all that.
Trebles and all sorts.
But you know what?
Yeah.
That digit that you've just put on by winning that League Cup,
it's still something.
Puts you ahead, if not joint, with Liverpool. And that's what the aim is. The aim is to keep winning and keep ahead of Liverpool. Now, when you look at Spurs, it's like, I don't know where to start. Honestly, I just don't know where to start. And, you know, I used to look at Chelsea and 2 FA Cups, you know, don't even, you know, you was down between my feet at the time, getting in my way. That's how I saw them. And to watch Chelsea win, all right, you know, they've had Abramovich and you know, the guidance, the money putting into the right areas, bringing the right men in at the right time to run that football team. And that's that. Even West Ham, you know, look at West Ham.
The Conference
I've got
League.
a question for you though, quickly. But don't you think Tottenham's spent a bit of money though? You've been spending money.
It's not like you haven't spent money.
Right. Chelsea, everybody spent money, but Tottenham have been spending money though, man.
This is where we're at. You know, Tottenham, you know, have spent a lot of money. I've spoken to people recently where they're going, but you've spent just as much money as Man City. And, you know, I think we might have even spent more than Man City. But, you know, what you've got to look at is how that football club is run and in a way that the finances are structured. And who comes in depends on, you know, the 60 million pound footballers in this day and age don't mean nothing, because you can get a 60 million pound Haaland for 350 grand a week. I'll give you an example. And then you get Dominic Solanke, 60 grand,
Completely
60
agree.
million pound footballer, 90 grand a week. And maybe he's even not even getting that. But, you know, and then but we got him, he scored 19 goals last year, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, 19 goals for Bournemouth.
And he can't he's not doing nothing.
You
now,
come to Spurs and the pressures of
It's a step up in it. Yeah.
You know, you're in the spotlight constantly at Spurs. So, you know, that, you know, first couple of games where he had easy chances and he never put them away. You know, that tells you what you're getting. If that was Haaland, that's in the back of the net. But you're getting 350 grand a week footballer there. So that shows you that he's putting them away, but you're paying for it. And it doesn't matter. I don't care what industry you're in. You know, if I call in a bricklayer and I'm giving the bricklayer £80 a week, and there's another bricklayer that's earning £200 a week, I know the difference of what I'm going to get. And that doesn't matter if you're a footballer. It's exactly the same. Differences with footballers, though, you know, and we could say the same thing about ourselves if we was footballers, because we would probably be the same. But obviously, we feel deeper because there's a meaning to the football club to us, because we love it. We live and breathe it, you know. But when you look at these footballers in this day and age, they're mercenaries. You know, 100 grand a week, 150 grand a week, 200 grand a week. You know, back in my day, I was fortunate enough to be a good striker. So, the team fed off me type of thing. So I was sort of not going to, very rarely I'd get stick. But, can you imagine you walk into that dressing room and you got Ange Postecoglou, you got 11 individuals there that are on 50 to 200 grand a week. And you're looking at them and you're thinking, what was you thinking making that mistake? Why did you play that ball across the back four? You get taught that as a kid.
Yeah.
And all these things, you keep popping at that same player and he's on 120 grand a week. He's going to go, do you know what? I don't even want to swear, but, sod ya. I'm not going to, that's it. I'm going to down tools on you. He's got a 4-year contract, 5-year contract. But the manager's playing every game for his living. The footballers don't need to.
Yeah, I completely agree.
He's going to go, the manager's going to be gone before.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And what happens is when you got an owner and you got the footballers who predominantly are put there because of the owner, the manager's in between and he's supposed to be getting the best out of what he's put on that in that squad. So that manager's now got to try and get the best out of those footballers. And when you got a Ben Davis, when you got a full team there, he's never going to get in that. He probably plays about 10 minutes when the other players are tired. But now you're putting him in every week, and that guy's going to look and go, "Am I going to give him 100%?"
Yeah, completely agree.
And then what happens is you got a goalkeeper there that comes for crosses and but who does their homework on these individuals? This is what's baffling, and this is where my gripe is with the fan base. Really, more than anything, it's them that I can't seem to get my head around how they don't. It's their football club.
The FA Cup games. I'm going to touch on Rashford's performance quickly. Obviously, it's his first game at Villa. He looked lively, looked decent, and also Jadon Sancho wrote on his Instagram post, "Freedom speaks volumes, man. Speaks volumes." How do you feel about? Obviously, you're a Man United fan, Frank. How do you feel about?
Personally, I want Rashford to do well. I want him to do well. I want him to do well because he's a United boy. He's an academy lad. He's obviously not had the. I mean, from what we hear and what we're being told, he's not been in the right frame of mind. He's not had the. You know what I mean? You've been getting wrong advice for years and everything. Again, this is what we hear allegedly. So, I really want him to do well. On top of that, I feel like for him to really sort of catapult his career again. He's only 27, mind. I think he needs to go abroad. I think staying in England isn't.
He looked sharp yesterday,
but it's one game. It's half an hour. It's half an hour, and don't judge him yet. Judge him after 6 games, after 10 games. Jadon Sancho, funnily enough, who you just mentioned, looked very good for Chelsea for a handful of games. Now he's sitting there talking about freedom. He's got 1 assist in 11 games.
Yeah, but Chelsea's gone downhill though.
Yeah, but top players carry the clubs, no?
But 1 second. But this is what a lot of people do. They pick out individuals when the whole team's not playing good. Do you understand? So you can't just say,
but the team's made of individuals, though.
Madueke was looking good. Palmer was doing good.
Yeah.
They had a lot of players that was playing well.
Yeah.
Nicholas Jackson was banging in goals.
Yeah, agree.
What's the reason behind the drop-off?
Must be management. Who knows?
I'm
just saying because...
So you're saying
Sancho's
don't
but the
pick
whole
up-
team,
Yeah,
they're not playing how they was playing.
But the reason why I'm going at Sancho is because he's turned around and said freedom to Rashford, like he's got freedom now and he's doing bits at Chelsea. He's not.
But he looks better.
Yeah, of course he is. He knows what he's doing.
These individuals, again, football's changed. Putting social media posts out there, to me, you can't talk to these people because they're on 200 grand a week. But me personally, if that was my son, I would say to him, there's no need for you to be putting things like that. Concentrate on your own game because that's what's important about getting you to the top. And to get to the top, you don't need distractions. You don't need to be. You don't need to focus on anything else by your own game. But when you look at individuals like Rashford, there's deeper issues. There's deeper issues within. You know what? It could be his personal life. You just don't know.
Yeah,
I believe there's personal issues in Man United.
Yeah, there is. But my issue with Sancho, what he said was, first of all, your issue supposedly was with Ten Hag. Not with Man United. That's what we were led to believe.
Yes, that's
right.
correct, yeah.
Now, on top of that, the club who you're talking about freedom from gave you 3 months last season when you're on 250, 30, 300 grand a week because you had mental health issues ongoing. Now, fair play. If that's the deal, then cool. But then clearly the club have supported you. So if the manager's gone,
it's still not problems.
but that's fine. But then you don't out the club like that, because if you've got a problem with Ten Hag, fair enough. Ten Hag's gone now. You've outlasted him. So what's
that means it's deeper than 10.
Okay, it's deeper than Ten Hag, so it's at the club. But the club, like I said, gave you 3 months off when you had ongoing mental health problems. So why are you then coming back for the club? If you want to go and message Rashford and say, "Thank God you got out of there, bruv. Well done. Yeah, I hope you got to kick on." Then go and do that privately.
He's throwing shade, 100%. But
yeah, of course he is.
It's shade where it needs to be thrown, I believe, because
No, it doesn't need to be thrown. No, it doesn't need to be thrown. That's a childish way of dealing with it.
On their behalf, he feels he needs to say that out in public to let everybody know. Look. You're free now. Go and do your thing.
So you agree with that? You think he's done the right thing there? So you think if Aubameyang posted on Lacazette's Instagram account saying freedom after he went back to Lyon, would you not be offended by that?
I wouldn't. No. Because do you know why? Do you know what it is?
You of all people, you definitely would be.
I would want to know that, okay, it was deeper than Aubameyang being not playing well. There's something going on there. So, I would want to know that.
So do you blame Aubameyang or do you blame Arteta now?
So hang on. Sorry, let me stop you.
Yeah, go on.
Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at? You're not pointing Ten Hag this situation. You're saying it's
he's free
with the football. You're talking about the football club.
Yeah.
Let me.
It's free. He's saying Rashford's free. You're free.
No. But what was the problem with Jadon Sancho? What was his problem at the football club?
He had an argument. We know he had an argument with Ten Hag, but we don't know. That's what we know in public.
I know,
but we don't know what was going on behind the scenes.
Remember, right? Remember, with any football club, any management, chairman, owner, chief executive, you're an asset. So to me, I cannot afford for you to be sidetracked or
devalued.
I've got to back you 100% either way because I've given
Man
you.
United has devalued a lot of their assets.
I've got you on a 5-year contract. I'm gonna cover you in cotton wool. But the manager won't do that because the manager, look, if your attitude's not right, I'm not going to have you. Now, if you look at Ruben Amorim, right? Now, you can clearly see there was issues with Ten Hag and Rashford, right? You now move that along to Amorim. And if you see Amorim, this guy's got principles. He's talking about players that are going to run for that team. And now he's trying to embed his system, his mentality into these individuals. Rashford's attitude is totally wrong. Now you're on 350 grand a week. That's what's the problem. Because
we don't know.
But the thing is but hang on. I've seen glimpses of him in yesterday's game where he's doing a little nutmeg. Mate, what is that about? If you've got that audacity to do that, and now you need confidence to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
And he ain't played for Man United for God knows 10 games. He's been sitting on the bench. He hasn't done nothing for 2 months. He comes to Aston Villa, plays 5 minutes, and has the audacity to do a nutmeg on Pedro Porro. So that tells me that you know what, there is something in him that he can produce.
Yeah, but we know that,
right? But why is he not?
Yeah, but the point he's trying to make is. You don't play necessarily for the manager. You play for your pride. You play for your club. You got to put regardless of.
Absolutely.
This is my issue though.
They're human beings, bro.
No, listen.
1 second. Regardless of your wage.
No.
Regardless of your wage.
It's not about the wage.
It's
not about the wage.
It is about the wage. That's where the problem lies.
No. 1 second. Let me land because. If you're fed up of your manager and your team, you're not gonna.
But what's Amorim done to him though?
We don't know what's going on. But football's.
But what about Ten Hag? Jose spoke about him.
1 second.
Jose spoke about him as well, by the way.
1 second. Football's mental, bro. It's a mental thing. No matter how talented you are, if you're not mentally
I fully agree.
in your brain, you're not gonna perform how you can perform.
Guys, the bottom line is. If I give you £50 a week to play for me, I don't want to hear about your mental state because I can tell you something.
You have to.
He won't down tools on £50 a week. When he's on 350 grand a week, he can pick and choose what he wants to do. This is how it is because the thing is, when I say pick and choose, I don't mean he doesn't want to turn up today. If that manager has a pop at him. Yeah, he can choose not to turn up. He can choose to go. Do you know
because
what?
Of his contract.
I'm going going to go half-hearted today. But that manager has to be 100% disciplined in everything he does because his job's on the line, not Rashford's. And this is where the problem lies. Hence why I tell you about the situation at Spurs. The problem is deeper than you think. But at Man United, you know, you've got, you know, something similar at Spurs, but at Man United, they've made bad buys.
Yeah.
But you know what? Man United are just one click away from changing that overnight because they can spend £100 million or 80
I
million.
don't know about that anymore.
I know because of PSR, but they've still got that ability, and they've got also the ability of giving an individual 250, 300 grand a week, and that will get United out of trouble.
To be fair, that is changing now. It has to change. Yeah.
If they can do that with the right players,
But they've done that.
But
I tell you what United can do.
but right players, not Anthony for £85 million and then have him swanning around like.
He's got 2 man of the match performances in La Liga.
What are you going to say?
I was going to say Man United. The problem that Spurs had in the January transfer window is that they couldn't persuade anyone to come. Man United, they might not be able to afford these big fees and big wages, and if they are, they're putting themselves in a lot more debt. They can at least persuade someone on the project because it is Man United, and there is still a hangover of a winning mentality, which just doesn't exist.
But there's
at Spurs.
There's a difference at Man United now than there was last year, maybe this season before that. The difference is at Man United right now is Ruben Amorim decides on who he wants at the football club and who he doesn't want at the football club. Now, the January transfer window, Man United were crying out for a number 9, were they not?
Yeah.
Just like Arsenal, just like Tottenham. Yeah. Now, this supposedly Bayern Munich,
Matthias Tell,
on the bench type of guy,
Shout on the bench.
comes out, and Bayern Munich have made it abundantly clear to him, you need to move on. So the guy's told his agent, put the word out, 3 clubs interested. Agent knows it all. There it is. Away you go. Take your pick. The last pick is going to be Tottenham.
100%.
No doubt about it.
Well, he said no.
Right. 100%.
He said no.
But before he said
no to Tottenham.
Yeah,
no,
he
initially.
he did say no, but before he said no, he had the pick of the 3. He automatically, before he even spoke to Spurs, he said no to his agent, which anybody would. It's got to be United or Arsenal. But if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Arsenal because Arsenal are doing better, but United have the potential. So he's got the pick there. But the difference is, you got Bayern Munich, that remember, before this player was available, Bayern Munich and the Tottenham chairman had a little conversation, and I've got this debt that I owe you, and that's how it was. So let's sort this out. So you stick to your guns, and I'll stick to my guns, and it will work. So they've agreed. So you've got Tell going out there, oblivious to what's going on behind him. He's turned around and had a conversation.
Poor Tell,
he's had a conversation with
he's
Man
been
United.
played behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's had a conversation with Man United. Yeah, you know what? This is 99.9% because I said it to Jamie O'Hara as well. 99.9%. We don't know 100%, obviously, but this is exactly what I personally think happened. And now when you got Tell now going to Man United and his agent's oblivious, he's gone to Man United. Man United said, yep, we'll have you. And Arsenal said, yep, we have you. So he's gone, right, great. So the agent goes back to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have gone, right, okay, no problem. I'll have a conversation with Man United and Arsenal. He's moved the goalposts. So he's gone to Man United and Arsenal, right, if you want him, there's a loan fee and there's no option to buy.
No, I think the reason why Arsenal said no was because they were insisting on an option to buy.
Who was?
Bayern Munich were to Arsenal.
I personally think that wasn't the case because what I think was it was a loan fee, which automatically is a no before even anything else gets considered. And the fact that there was no option to buy told Man United and Arsenal from the get-go that, hang on a minute, you want me to put your player that doesn't even get in your side in the shop window, and you're not even giving me the option to buy. And with a loan fee, so I've got to pay his wages.
That makes
so
sense,
automatically, they cut that out, which automatically Levy was always planning this. They had this conversation already before, so he's got no other option because he's been told now, forget you're not going to be part of the first team, you're going to be playing with the kids. So automatically, now this guy's now in a hole. What's he going to do? But Daniel Levy's flown over. He's flown over to Germany and tried to convince him with the story He's categorically said no. And all of a sudden, I don't know how this happened, but Ange Postecoglou gets on the phone and has a conversation with him and persuades him to come. You know what? Ange Postecoglou...
It's all PR, isn't it?
Ange Postecoglou can't even convince me to get on a 149 bus outside the Tottenham High Road. Right? So how did that work? I don't know. But this is the story that the owner put out there, that he made the difference. So the Spurs fans can believe. Because that's what it is. He's just making him believe that this guy can make a difference. Yeah. And the thing is, the bottom line is he's ended up coming to the football club. The deal, the money all got squashed. He's got a freebie, like he usually likes, a nice little freebie. Yeah. And another guy comes in.
Levy the freebies.
And you know what? Yeah. And I've watched this individual play. And yeah, he might have a little bit of potential. But when you look at him in that team, he cost us the goal yesterday.
Who, Matt the Tottenham?
Yeah.
He scored you?
He cost us one of the goals. It was his mistake on the halfway line.
Yeah.
But you see, do I blame him? No, because you know why? He's one of many that do that. Week in, week out. Last week it was Ben Davies. Then it was the goalkeeper the other day. So it's just...
The goalkeeper cost you the first goal as well.
Yeah.
That was an awful mistake.
It goes on. Yeah.
You know, Bissouma. What about Bissouma's little pass, 5-yard pass, and then he flings his hands up in the air? What do you expect? You know, sorry, you get paid, what, 50, 60 grand a week, and you play a 5-yard pass to the opposition. You know, and you've got Fraser Forster getting the ball at his feet after 30 seconds and thinking, mosalah, let me give you the ball.
You know, you just reminded me of that Bissouma when he come clattering in the area. Do you remember that when he gave the ball away and he just completely, like, it was the most obvious penalty you will ever see in the history of football.
We've got to move on quickly. This time is flying quick. Right.
Yeah.
Just to check the temperature in the room. How you doing, mate? You all right? Right, I've got some pictures to show you, yeah? I want to know...
show the camera as well.
Show the
camera first as well.
Who really pisses you off?
Yeah. The first thing you think of.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the first thing you think of, apart from the C word. Right. Ready? Go. By the way, look, this button here, look, this button says this. Bomba! You can bomba out there if you want as well, yeah?
How does that make you feel?
How does it make you feel? As a Tottenham fan.
Do you know what? Over the years, this guy tormented my football club. You know, great player, but he tormented. But, you know, I don't feel...
Alright, cool. Next time.
But do you know what? Like I said, I've got deeper issues than worry about Thierry on me. Oh gosh.
You show the camera.
That
Soldado.
That honestly, when he bought that player, honestly you don't know. Obviously, when he comes in, you think, oh, you know, Soldado, mate.
Soldado.
Solano.
Crypto.
Yeah. When he was turning up...
Solano's decent compared to Soldado.
When he was turning up outside the stadium with all these flashy cars and then he goes on that football field and does that, I was just like, honestly, what was he thinking? You know, but...
Okay.
Next one.
Show the camera.
Absolute legend.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Absolutely. That is the last world-class footballer that played in our stadium.
In White Hart Lane, you mean?
Not once.
Didn't Harry Kane play in White Hart Lane?
It's not. No.
Oh, he didn't.
That is world class.
Okay. So this is
this is a great debate.
So Gareth Bale.
Do you know what?
And Harry Kane,
No. We got a quick fire round coming. Okay. That's fine. We'll leave it at that.
You're talking different gravy.
Different level.
That is different gravy. You're talking about individuals there that were winning World Cups. They could win World Cups.
I got a question for you. Was David Ginola World
Cup? No.
Do you reckon?
No, I think he was a very, very top level footballer. You know, I have to say this. A lot of people use this world class word flippant, and it
we've been saying this.
It irritates me because there's a bracket. There's a bracket you got to look at.
Yeah,
I've got another one quickly. Odegaard. He's swaying the ball. Obviously, you're Tottenham fan, but watching him, but
it's nothing to do with
honest.
But you're honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there. Let me get there.
I love his left foot.
Do you think he's world class?
No. I love his left foot, but he's not world class.
There you go.
But he's got.
I'll take it back.
He's got a lovely left foot. But to be
he will be
world class, you know.
It's the elite in it.
Yeah,
It's
but
the
you
elite
don't
in it.
think that Gareth Bale and Harry Kane are world
Do you know,
class?
No,
Harry
Kane's
listen,
world class.
Harry,
Both of those
listen,
players are.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane's world
no,
class.
listen.
Yeah.
Harry Kane is not world class.
He is. No
Harry
way.
Kane is a top end bracket footballer.
No
but you got to
way.
understand. No, you got to understand, right?
Yeah.
You got to understand when you have top end footballers. I mean, proper number 9s, yeah, that have gone out and single handedly won European trophies. World Cups, European Championships.
Yeah, but he was taking you to win stuff, though. He was
Nah.
obviously he didn't get over
There's
the
only
line.
so much you can
Nah,
do at
There's only
Tottenham.
so much he can do by himself as well.
He played for the national team,
Mm.
yeah, and you know I know you realise that as I know as a centre forward you rely on your teammates, but you know there was one point where he could have won the game for England with that penalty, and at that point you could see. It got the better of him.
But
there's
one mistake doesn't determine if he's world class.
but you've got to understand.
Yeah.
Look, he's getting much better playing for Bayern Munich. No, he is.
I think it's great for you. Like,
No.
Yeah, but you could argue playing for England is the same sort of pressure as it is playing for Tottenham and the long
Of
wait
course,
and the
of
monkey on
course,
your
of
back.
course.
You know, it changes players.
But you see, at Bayern Munich, it's a different pressure, totally different pressure, because they're the top 5 in the world, and that is a totally different pressure.
But he's doing his job there.
Absolutely,
From
Absolutely.
day one. From day one.
He's been doing his job everywhere.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Let's-
So there's
okay,
no
yeah.
knocking that.
Next one, are you ready for
To
this?
discussion, yeah.
I'm glad I'm sitting far away.
Oh gosh. Honestly, how that I couldn't believe it happened, to be honest, the way he done it. But and he's got his agent coming out and telling us a story that
Advert as well
he's
the other day.
probably
The advert, you see the Google advert
do you know,
the other day?
yeah, and then he's got the cheek of turning around and saying that it was such a long time, it should be forgotten, and then he goes and does that. Do you know what? One thing I've got to give Spurs fans is even the younger generation know about it and they despise him. So, I'm glad it's not just the older generation. It'll run through for
Forever.
Forever. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, tell me what you think when you see this.
Yeah, I've got no issues with the man.
Show the
Honestly.
camera.
I thought it was a different one.
No. Alan,
I could only see it.
do you know,
I thought it was a different one.
do
I
you
thought
know-
it was a bit more of
do you
a.
know what? A lot of people look at Alan Sugar
Yeah.
and see how he took Spurs into a bad era. But a lot of people don't look at the realities. First things first, he come in with the money and put the money down to get Spurs into a position where they probably were going to go bust at the time. And then obviously he brought in Venables and whatever happened between them. But the reality, this is the reality, because that's what we work off in football. They won the FA Cup. All right, albeit it wasn't in his era, but it was just after, I think he
So
took,
the foundation he's kind of laid
but
is...
yeah, and he then knew about the football club and knew about the history. He went and brought in Jurgen Klinsmann, and he didn't do it once. He done it twice.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And then you look at and there was no money in the Premier League back then. But now look, and
Fair
there's not one individual that you can look and say there's a world class player.
Let's do one more.
Yeah,
Let's do one more.
No, we're going to do two more.
Go on,
Two
then.
more, two more.
JT.
JT in the building.
You like him, yeah?
Oh, I think Ledley was better than him with one leg, wasn't he? Or one knee. One knee.
Well, yeah, he didn't even train, did he? He just turned up every week. That's mental.
Do you
I
know,
remember that.
he was in the England squad and they called up Ledley, and you can clearly see Ledley was never going to be fit. And yet, the fact that they wanted to take Ledley with a dodgy kneecap shows you that.
Him and Frank Lampard, they used to call it 3-point lane. You know that? Whenever they were playing Tottenham away. Right, no,
Last
we've already
one.
done him.
As long as you don't show me that one individual. Oh, Jesus.
The man himself. The man of the hour.
You got a dartboard with this up at
Guys,
home.
I'll tell you, the guy grates on me. There's nothing I can't even bear to look at him. The fact of the matter
You
is,
look a little bit
for,
similar.
for 24 years, listen, we are not going to get our lives back I'm at this age that, you know, I've had 24 of my years. It's non-existent.
It's sad when you think about it that way.
It's non-existent because of this individual. And, you know, it grates on me that the fact that he's allowed... It's not him, by the way. It's the people...
above him.
No. Nothing to do. Listen, I've always said it, and COVID proved it, that without fans...
Football's nothing.
Football's nothing. And I don't want to hear from Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy and all and Majestic coming out with all these, but you can't get them out. Bill Kenwright, God rest his soul, the man was a diehard that's Birmingham, innit? Evertonians. Diehard toffee the man was. And it killed him to hear that Evertonians were that thing against him because he put that machinery in, you know, and he thought he was doing the right thing. And to see that he couldn't come to the football stadium, and yet this man
just about
swans around. Actually,
have you lot tried to get him out though? Have you lot gone against him yet?
There's only the Ennick out, there's about a good 500, and they sit opposite the Spurs shop. And they got their banners and they try and suck people in. But you know what? No one's interested. Because the reality is, majority of the fan base don't care. And the other majority don't know the true values of the football club because they're tourists.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the way that's the way that football's going, I think.
Of course, but the difference is with other football clubs. And I have to put Arsenal into this, right? Because I remember Arsenal just during the Wenger era, you know, you got 61,000 in the 60,000, whatever it is, in the stadium, and you can clearly see there was only 40. So
it was empty.
So why was it empty? And it wasn't one game. It was. So why? Because the fan base was making a point, and that's how it is. If you make that point,
you hit their pockets.
You see, but the thing is, you know, I'm a businessman, right? And I pride myself with my work. And you
can always press this button anytime you're angry. There you go.
I press it more than once. Right?
That was decent burgers, to be fair.
And
8.5.
I'll be saying that. My name stands out, and that's the difference. But you know, you pride yourself on that, and my business, touch wood, you know, I'm thriving, but I'm not thriving just for, you know, I got lucky.
Hard work.
I put hard work into it. I put a lot of effort into it. And if something goes wrong, I look at it and I go, well, how can I address that? How can I make sure it doesn't happen again? And I look at this individual and I think to myself, well, you know, you sold your corporates, so that's cash in the bank already. You sold just your season tickets, that's cash in the bank. You got people that are, you know what, £80 a ticket, and you don't want to turn up, that's fine. Give it back to me. I'll send it across the other side of the world. £250, £280, because he wants to come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He comes over, goes to the club shop, starts buying merchandise. He's just spent £600-700. And you, as a diehard, you're no good to me.
Yeah.
But you know, you can shout and do whatever you want. You're no good to me. And this is where the direction is going. You leave the stadium open for an hour and a half after the game. What's that for? To build up the morale, people to eat and drink, and you're losing out on that. And people aren't spending no money. Don't you think to yourself, well, hang on a minute, I'm losing out here. So I've got to address that. How do I address it? Because the reality is, when you go to any football stadium, whichever football team you support, you go to watch your team win. That's the bottom line. And when you go to, of all places, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, brand spanking new, of what, 6 years old it is, and every single week you go there, you lose a game. And they've lost more games in a new stadium than any other high-profile club has in the whole God knows how many years. And they've lost it in 6 years. They've lost more than probably all of them put together.
I've got a question then. Are you and you know out then?
Honestly,
yeah,
that's another thing that grates on me. You know, I know this man isn't the right man for Spurs. I know that. I knew Nuno wasn't the right man for Spurs.
He was singing Pochettino's name, the fans, yesterday. They were
Oh,
singing
were
the
they?
chant, yeah.
But you know
Magic,
what?
you know.
But the thing is, that was the only era that I was going regularly to watch Spurs.
Yeah, so when was the last time you went to Spurs? Because you were like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah,
When was the last time you went?
The last time I went was the Champions League quarter-final first leg, Man City. When
what Sterling's disallowed goal and all that?
No, the one at Tottenham Stadium when we beat them 1-0. When Harry Kane got injured and come off and Son scored the...
Oh, yeah.
So that was the last game I went, and I refused after, obviously, the end of the season and whatever have you. And then, obviously, he didn't back Poch.
Yeah, he
you
didn't.
know, after seeing what he done without 2 transfer windows, gone into that new stadium.
Should have.
And I'm not having it that, we've got a stadium to pay for and all that. Arsenal had it difficult, stadium to pay for, because you had nothing around you to bring that money in. But he's been smart enough to do the American football to make it into a multi
concerts and all sorts.
Yeah, and
record fees for players as well. He sells well, doesn't he? Which Arsenal have always struggled to do.
But that's the thing, you see. People say he's a good businessman. Yes, he's a good businessman, but he's not a good businessman when it comes to running a football club. Because if you look at who he's bought and what he's had return from that, it's a sackable offence, because he's lost so much money. Dembele's and Ndombele's. These footballers, £65 million, 200 grand a week. And then you go into the Amazon video and he's sitting there asking a question to Ndombele's agent, is everything all right with him? And he's sitting there leaning back, stroking his beard like this. And he's like, mate, I've just paid £60 million for you, 200 grand a week. And you got that attitude. So, sorry, who brought him in? I don't care if it was you as my chief executive or you as my scouting person. The bottom line is I signed the checks. So the buck stops with him. And we're going back to where you say, and you know that. I've said it before. You could have any manager at that football club. You cannot run those 25 individuals at that football club. You cannot run.
Exactly what I've been saying.
Because these individuals, they're on even that sort of money, the 50s, the 100, 150. So listen, I played football at a high level, right? Obviously not professional, but I played reserve team football at pro clubs. Now, it doesn't matter back in the 80s and 90s, even in 2025, you look up to your captain. Yeah, that's the bottom line. Now, Arsenal look at Odegaard when Odegaard's not in the side, and look, it makes a big difference in the mentality of your team when you haven't got Odegaard. And when you look at Man United, you got poor players around you, but the one half decent one you got, Fernandes, if he ain't in the side, everyone just goes, oh well, we're going to lose today. And this is the mentality you got at Spurs, where you look at Son and you think, hang on a minute, you're 32 years of age. One, you're not supposed to be there. 2, you're the club captain. And then you got Romero there who's a World Cup winner. Oh, but you can be the assistant. And I'm going to look at you and go, what? You're going to be my leader. And then...
No, ask you a question quickly, to cut you. Who would your captain be in the squad right now? With the squad you've got, who would you captain? Yeah, who would your captain be?
What a question that is.
Yeah, who would it be?
That's a question I don't even think I can answer.
No, so what you're saying, no leaders?
No, there isn't one. But, I can't even think of... If I was to think of anybody, I can't even put Romero, because Romero, as he looks like a leader, he could leave you exposed and playing with 10 men.
Yeah, because of his stupidity.
Yeah, but he's not... I personally, I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's set for Premier League. He's set for Spanish football with the style of football that he can play. It's too quick for him. He'll make that mistake. But looking at Spurs, I can't see one leader. The potential of Van de Ven, but other than that, there's nothing. I asked this question to Jason Cundy back a few weeks ago. I said, back in 2019, there was not one Arsenal player, and you could say there was, Ozil, whatever, there was not one individual that could have got in that Tottenham 11.
What? Who was it?
In 2019, when Tottenham were in the Champions League final, there was not one Arsenal player that could have got in Spurs.
2019 Arsenal
But you know
team.
what? Roll on 6 years later, and I think to myself, there's not one Spurs player that would actually put to clean the kit of the Arsenal players.
Not even Son would get it.
You understand?
Changed, I know he
And
totally
but
changed
how
that.
No,
did we?
Son would.
No, he wouldn't.
And Martinelli.
No.
Maybe.
Song would. Let's get
Bit
this
hot and
straight.
cold.
Let's get this straight.
Not recent Song. Not how he's playing now.
Let's get this straight.
Not how he's playing now.
Song under.
Pochettino.
No, not under Pochettino. Under Jose Mourinho, that was his best season ever, and that was the moment he should have been sold. Now, if you're going by that song, absolutely. But if
This
you're looking
song,
at this song
whack.
is not good enough to get into half the Premier League side. And
been
you know what?
terrible.
His attitude on the football field, where the camera yesterday after the Villa game, he was walking off the pitch, he's going, and I want to pull him over because why are you shaking your head for? Why are you shaking your head for? Because if you're saying to me that actually you put in a shift and you done really well and you was running through the trenches for the team, mate, you was just as bad as them, and you're supposed to be the leader. And this is where my problem lies at the football club, that if there's not an individual you can look up to, it'll never work.
We're gonna jump into some quick fire roundy questions. So it's not like a fire round. It's about some questions about
All right.
Tottenham and why you support Tottenham, whatever. I'll go first.
Yeah, go on.
So who is the greatest Premier League player of all time? You going with? It's not just Tottenham.
Not anyone.
anyone.
Oh, greatest Premier League player.
Thierry.
All time.
They do put Thierry in though. I wouldn't put Thierry. God.
You can't, innit, as a Spurs fan. You can't.
Nah, but it's not. No,
gotta
it's
be
not.
honest.
No, but Thierry.
guy?
Listen, Thierry. Whoa, please. Thierry was okay. Do you know what? I was very, very impressed with Eden Hazard. He was one.
That's a debate we had the other day.
Yeah,
actually.
we
Yeah,
had
Hazard
Eden
on-
Ronaldo?
Hazard. Cristiano, but
What Premier League Ronaldo though?
but the difference
For
is
3
yeah,
years.
that's
For
the
3
point.
years.
Cristiano.
It's not the greatest.
Yeah,
Not Premier
Cristiano.
League.
Yeah, Cristiano at Real Madrid was something
Different
else.
level. Yeah.
Wayne
Rooney.
Rooney.
Hazard.
Wayne Rooney.
Get out of here, man.
I wouldn't say
Stevie
Rooney.
Gerrard.
So hold on. Cristiano
I would say
Ronaldo what
Steven
won a
Gerrard
Ballon
either.
d'Or? He won a Ballon d'Or in the Premier League.
Who?
Cristiano Ronaldo in 08. In 08, he scored
That's
42
a
goals
bit
in
of
the
Henry
to work with.
season.
Not in the He was a bit Henry in the Prem. No way.
Debatable.
No way.
Do you know what Henry is up there? I've got to say,
way.
Henry and Hazard are two that I would say.
Those are my two
But
as well.
but I will say, I have to say Gareth Bale was up there.
Nah, man.
Gareth Bale.
At
was-
Real
I got
Madrid.
Bumper Clout, you.
No.
Where
You,
is it?
you just said that Gareth Bale was world class about 20
No.
minutes ago.
No, Premier League. We're not talking.
What, better than who?
I've got to say, Gareth Bale. The thing is, this is the difference with being a Spurs fan. When you watch Gareth Bale play, when he was at his, obviously he had to be wanted by Real Madrid. That guy was. It was like, please give him the ball.
Yeah.
It was, please give it to him.
Henry had that. Hazard was like that.
Nah.
Yeah,
nah.
no. He's right. They were. Henry was like that. Hazard was like
Yeah,
that as
but
well.
Gareth
yeah.
Bale, it was like we played the way. This was the thing at West Ham. Played the way to West Ham, man. How he turned that game on his own. It just gives you goosebumps.
You're just saying this.
No, but no. You
So wait,
listen.
so
I'm the
question.
first person.
So you're
to
saying
run
he's
it.
better than
No, he's not saying he's better.
No.
He's saying he's up there. He's
He's
saying he's
up
up
there.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying
No,
we're going
no.
who's the best in the Premier
No.
League.
So you're saying you
All
can't
time.
pick your number
It's
one?
very It's very.
Got to pick one though. Just
Yeah, it's meant to be
pick one.
quick fire. You got to
I
do
would
the
have
first thing that
I would
comes to
have
your
say-
head.
I would have to say Eden Hazard.
That's a fair choice.
Okay.
I would
Fair
have to
enough.
say him
All
because
right.
Especially as a Spurs
Fair enough.
fan.
when he used to drop his shoulder, it
Go
was
on.
just lethal. Yeah.
I go on, Frank. You can ask.
All right.
You can answer next.
Mine's a bit of a controversial one, but I'm trying to think of which way to word it. All right. If you had a choice, would you rather win the Europa League this season and end your trophy drought and qualify for the Champions League next season, but that means Arsenal win the Premier League? Or you don't win any trophies and Arsenal end up trophyless as well.
Sorry, say that bit again.
Or
You
you
got so
don't,
angry.
or you,
And he
you
made
don't
the
win
question, he's
anything.
in Arsenal.
You don't win anything, and Arsenal don't win anything as well. So either you win the Europa League, you end your trophy drought, you qualify for the Champions League, but for next season, but that means Arsenal win the Premier League this season. They pip Liverpool to it. Or you don't win anything.
No question.
What's the answer?
There's no question.
Well, Tommy. Tell us.
I have to say that we don't win nothing.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
No, you can't be real.
So the trophy drought continues.
But you
way,
but you need to understand, right? This is the difference, right? I grew up in an era, right, where Arsenal wasn't winning nothing. Like, I mean, the title. You know, you've won. Actually, you didn't win much. You won the FA Cup in the late 70s, and in 87
Did the double in 71, yeah.
You won but that was the year I was born, and then you won the League Cup in 87. But that 89,
What, Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
Was it that one?
that moment that happened, I cannot bring to tell you what. And I was an 18-year-old.
Oh.
Do you know what he did to me? It took me apart, and I was only a kid at the time.
Yeah.
And it lives with you. You understand? And when you get to this age now, right? Actually, it doesn't bother me if Arsenal win the league. Honestly, I don't think. Yeah, it does. You know,
does.
as a
Come
Spurs
on,
fan,
man.
as a Spurs fan,
You'll drop my burger on the floor if I come back.
Yeah, you know that's
All right. Do you know what? Sorry.
But let me tell you, because remember what you can say.
Yeah, go on.
But the reality is, we have a deeper issue at the football club, and I've switched off, worried about Arsenal.
Okay.
West Ham winning the Europa
It's very
Conference.
convenient now that we're good again.
I've switched off because you know what? We've as a fan, and I want all my fans out there to understand this. We have a bigger fish to fry. Don't worry about bantering Arsenal and Chelsea. Unfortunately,
You can't banter anyone.
we can't.
mate.
West
You
Ham
haven't
are
been
winning
able to for a
trophies. We
while.
can't worry about them.
Exactly.
Chelsea's
Even
caught
West
up-
Ham have got a
Chelsea's
European
caught up with
trophy.
us. Arsenal's
So
left
answer me
us.
this: Did you want Son not to score that goal last season?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Well, hang on a minute. Let's put the shoe on the other foot.
Oh, yeah, that was brilliant.
Hang on a minute. Do you honestly think that you would have done any different?
Moving on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Right,
when-
it's true,
it's true, it's
when-
right, it's
no,
right.
hang on,
No, it's
when-
true,
Hang
actually.
on,
It's
hang
true.
on. When forget the title, when Tottenham were in the Champions League final,
We was all,
they were having kittens.
Yeah. They were.
Because that moment of knowing,
You got there
right.
by like a couple of draws, mate. That's when like the Champions League
But they
format
got
wasn't
there, though.
working.
They got
When
there,
in the
though.
final, we was all
So,
Yeah.
so hold on. Following up from that question, sorry, let me just another follow-up question quickly.
yeah.
So, all right. So, would you rather Spurs stay up in the Premier League, trophyless this season, but Arsenal win the Premier League, or Spurs get relegated and Arsenal don't win the Premier League and don't win the Champions League and end up trophyless?
now
That's a
listen,
good question. That's a good question.
listen. If it means, and I'll say this,
Don't
and
play
I
it
mean,
if it means Levy out. You can't. No, you
if
can't
it-
bring
if
that
it
into
means
it.
that, I'll take anything.
No.
That's not in the
Levy's
mix.
here to stay,
Okay,
mate.
that's not in the question.
Yeah, that's not in the
That's not in the
question.
question.
I like how you tried to get out of that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
go on.
that's not in the
Go on.
question. So you lot stay up this season,
Yeah.
but Arsenal win the Premier League, or you get relegated, but that means Arsenal end up another trophyless season. No Premier League, no Champions League.
Well, no,
5 years in a row.
You know, that's what it matters. I don't care if you win the FA Cup, but the Premier League is a listen. You got to live with these things, man. You got to understand.
So that's
I think I might get
live with it.
relegated.
I
Answer
can
the
live-
question.
So
I
that's
can
the
live
question.
with-
So
I
you'd
can
rather
live-
get relegated?
Listen, I can live with the FA Cup. I can live, but Premier League title or Champions League. You know, look, Chelsea's won it. Don't care. But you know when
It's
it's
Arsenal,
it's
different.
hard. It's hard.
So you'd rather
Because-
get relegated, is what you're
because-
saying.
Because you need to.
I want to hear you say it, man.
Say the words.
I want to hear you say it.
You got to.
Just say
Say the
just
words,
say it.
Matt.
Come on, say
Say
it.
it.
What would you
Are we
rather?
moving on?
Brilliant. All right, fair enough. Read between the lines, guys.
Hang on,
Read between the lines.
There's no point me asking you that question.
What's that?
Well, whether it's Man City.
But this is a Tottenham
No,
podcast,
but
mate.
you
This
haven't
is
got
a-
that. You
This is
haven't
a
got
Tottenham
that.
special,
rivalry's
mate.
different.
Yeah,
It's
you haven't got
different.
that.
Yeah.
What do you mean you ain't got that?
You haven't got that.
The
You
rivalry.
don't- Liverpool's 250 miles away from you, and you still find them your
I think
rival.
Arsenal Tottenham rivalry.
30
is-
miles. They're
is
30
deep.
miles away, by the way.
Alright,
They're 30 miles,
These-
right?
These lot come from south to
You-
north.
United-
There's a big difference.
But what about Man City? What about Man City? What about Leeds United? Leeds United's only an hour or so away from Manchester as well, a couple of hours away.
I wouldn't go there.
What's your question, Marvin?
I think I asked it already about the song, but here's a question for you, just in regards to like Levy and like you're obviously you have your burger van outside, right? Your profits surely have gone up as a result, like of like Levy's expansion of the.
That's you.
You've done what you must have done well from the stadium
Sorry.
getting bigger. Like, how does that sit with you?
Listen,
Does the club come first, or is it like, nah, my pocket, like things are great. The burger
That's
man's
a
going
good question,
great.
to be fair.
I can answer that.
Okay, fair. go on.
So moving to the new stadium obviously makes a difference. But this is the thing, you see, yeah, that to maximize your profits, yeah, and the same goes to him, is you have to have a winning team. You lose away, but you win at home. That's the basic facts of a football club. You've got to win your home games. And when we're playing at home and you watch your fans every single week, leaving that stadium, not even acknowledging you and walking out, that's cost us in the pocket. It costs us in the pocket because people don't. Honestly, I know as a fan, there's no way I want to eat. I just want to go home. I don't even want to talk to the missus.
No, I mean, I stress eat a lot, so I'm the wrong person to talk to.
A lot of people do, but we do lose out, and we could earn a lot more, We do lose out, but, in that respect, yeah, he's done well. And, don't get me wrong, these concerts are great for us. Great for us. But bread and butter.
Yeah.
It's the bread and butter.
Yeah.
We don't get that now. For the last 3 months, we don't have people coming and want to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, eating and chilling with. No one wants to. It's like, come, as a ritual, as a
run through the motions.
Yeah, they have a burger because it's one of the things they do. It's like, if I don't have the burger and I go in and we lose, well, Spurs, it seems to be losing every week. But, it's
superstitions.
It's that reality,
We're gonna jump into a quick player fire round. If you do you want to do it, Frank, you can do it, Frank.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Right, so this is a Spurs fire round. It's a start, bench, sell. So start one, bench one, sell one. All right? So it's a quick fire round, so as quick as
what, Spurs players?
Yeah.
That's a stupid question.
No, but come on.
current,
Yeah.
Past
It's
them,
past
present.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to start, bench, and sell. You
Okay.
got to pick one. All right. So Vicario, Brad Friedel, or Hugo Lloris. Start, bench, sell.
Who goes start?
Okay, Lloris. Yeah.
Vicario and who?
Brad Friedel.
Friedel, bench, Vicario, sell.
Right. Romero, Alderweireld, or Van der Ven. Start, bench, sell.
Alderweireld, start. Van der Ven, bench. Romero, sell.
Okay, not a fan of. Okay, fair enough. Danny Rose, Asuakoto, or Udogi.
Oh, no question.
Go on, tell
Danny
me.
Rose, start.
Yeah.
Who's the other two?
Asuakoto or
No.
Udogi.
I would bench Udogi
Okay.
and Akoto, sell.
Okay. Kieran Trippier, Carl Walker, Pedro Porro.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Carl Walker used to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he wasn't. He was a raw.
And Kieran
Player.
didn't. So, yeah, I think I've got to put Kieran as start, Walker, and the other one sell.
Yeah, you don't like the new guys, does he?
Pedro, no, Pedro,
All right. Musa Dembele, Tom Huddleston, Michael Carrick.
Gosh, no question.
Musa.
All day long.
Yeah. Who you benching?
They say he's like one of the
Mate.
coldest players. Isn't it? A lot of them
We've
rate him
not,
highly.
we've not even replaced him.
Yeah. It's
And
hard
if
to
you-
replace a
if you
player
watch
like that.
individual
Yeah.
live,
Yeah.
you can see his legs were like that, and
Yeah.
nobody can nick the ball
Yeah.
off him. That's
A
Apart
lot of players-
from
a lot of
Pogba in the
players
FA
rate
Cup
him
semi-final, mate, got the assist. My man,
absolutely.
Labil. Right, so Musa Dembele start. So
Yeah.
Huddleston or Michael Carrick bench and sell.
Carrick's bench, Huddleston sell.
But Huddleston was a good player.
You know what? He can pinpoint
Yeah.
the ball, but
Both feet as
there was
well.
nothing else with him.
Yeah, okay. Ericsson, Luka Modric, Van der Vaart. And when I say Luka Modric, I'm saying Spurs is Luka Modric, not Real Madrid. So Ericsson, Luka Modric, Van der Vaart.
Ericsson or Modric, that's a tricky one.
Because they both
yeah.
balled out for Spurs, yeah.
I can say.
I love Ericsson.
Yeah.
I can.
Okay.
Nah, you see,
Modric was cool, but Ericsson
Yeah.
was
right.
cold.
Let me tell you something, right? Modric was good. Ericsson, I had issues with.
What?
Really?
No way.
No, listen.
Yeah.
You got to be a Spurs fan
Okay. No, I'm gonna.
don't understand, mate.
I know. I know.
You
what
got to
you
be a
mean.
Spurs
Is it an
fan.
Odegaard thing?
Yeah. I know what mean.
You got to
I
be
know
a Spurs
what you mean. I know
fan
what you mean.
and sit by the corner flag and watch him take a corner. Or watch him take a free kick. It was 1 in a million beating the first man.
Like Ronaldo's free
He's on the
kicks.
pitch gameplay.
No,
Yeah.
gameplay. Listen,
man, quality. Yeah.
without him in that team, we look lopsided.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the crunch, it was everybody else around him by him. Don't get me wrong, his slide ball passes were great, but I would have to say Luca.
So Lucas start, and then Eriksson and Van der Vaart.
Eriksson and then Van der Vaart.
So sell Van der Vaart, yeah.
And
Van der Vaart was quality, by the way.
Yeah, he was great.
And Van der Vaart was good for Spurs.
Yeah.
I have to say that.
Eriksson.
All right.
Yeah, go on.
Kulusevski, Lucas Moura, Aaron Lennon. Because I think Kulusevski's been one of your best players in the last year or two.
Should throw Raul Fox in the mix. Remember him?
Real Fox, yeah.
I'm going to have to say, that's a tough one, but you know what? Kulusevski, I'm sorry, I'm not having him. I'm having him benched.
Bench still, yeah?
I'm having him.
So who you selling?
Who's the other two?
So Aaron Lennon, Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura got you to a Champions League final, by the way.
I have to put him, yeah.
Starting, yeah? And
I have
Aaron
to-
Lennon sell, yeah?
And Lucas Moura didn't give the club, but then again he wasn't given the opportunity as well. But ultimately he did get us there, and he has to be that. And Aaron Lennon, another one, pace to kill, but that not final
ball, yeah.
Final ball was,
Wilcott 2.0, innit?
was atrocious.
Great equaliser against Arsenal at the Emirates.
I thought we
the
were
4-4.
better than him, mate.
Do you know what? I'll never forget that because
Yeah.
I was just coming out the pub at the time, and it was like 4-2. And by the time I walked like 10 yards, it was 4-3.
yeah.
And then by the time I walked another 10 yards, it was 4-4. I was like, what have I missed?
Oh, God, I remember that.
And there was only like 10 fans left in the ground.
Yeah. Dele Alli, David Ginola, James Maddison.
Madison's out.
Do you know what? I wouldn't even give him a taxi.
Who, Maddison?
No, I wouldn't even.
I told you, he's out there.
All right, so who you starting? Ginola?
Honestly, that guy grates on me, and I hope he's listening. He grates on me. He's on such big money, and he's throwing darts that he thinks he's something of a footballer. When he was part of that Leicester team that went down, and that owner decides to bring him in, thinking he's going to go through the trenches.
Great
for
bit
Spurs.
of business.
Please,
Fair
there you
play.
go. You see, there you go. That's what you get.
Okay, so prime Dele Alli or prime David Ginola for who you starting?
Do you know what? Ginola was my man in the day. He was the only thing that was giving us hope.
Fair enough.
So I'd have to go. But
He got Player of the Year, by the way.
Do you know what?
In
I
99.
know he did.
Yeah.
But you know what? I love Dele Alli a bit.
So okay, so
I love Dele Alli a bit.
so Maddison sold. Who you starting? Dele Alli or Ginola?
Ginola has to.
Ginola starting,
Dele
Mannion
Alli, I've got
bench,
a soft
okay.
spot for.
All right.
Last one.
I think I know what you're going to say with this one, but Sheringham. No, there's a couple more. Sheringham, Darren Bent, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Darren Bent. I hope you're listening, Darren Bent. I hope you're listening.
All right, so start Klinsmann, bench Sheringham, yeah?
All day long.
All right. Berbatov, Jermaine Defoe,
So,
Robbie Keane.
Hang on, what's happened to Darren Bent?
What do you mean?
I let him get a taxi because I like that. Darren. I'll let him get a taxi.
All right, Berbatov, Jermaine Defoe, Robbie Keane.
Oh.
All day long, Berbatov.
Starting.
All day long.
Have to.
And you know what? And
That's
you
my
know
Man
what?
United guy.
Spudding him,
And
bro.
you
my
know,
Man United
and-
guy.
and you
Getting involved in this,
And
man.
you know what?
This is Tottenham, bro.
It's a Man United
Yeah,
boy.
man,
Shocking
yeah,
behaviour,
man.
mate.
All right.
Behaviour.
Berbatov. Yeah,
I forgot
the
they're
only-
close in the league, innit?
the
It's
only-
It's the last time we do a
Spanish
Tottenham
only
special, mate.
living-
This is embarrassing.
The only living grace I give that owner, and that was by
Dimitar.
luck because he became no player is world class at Spurs. They became top players. Well, not all of them. I mean, like the certain ones that ended up becoming like the Bales and the Kanes, but he was definitely one.
Yeah, he's
Berbatov. What I had a great touch as a footballer. When I watched Berbatov, like
Yeah.
he can trap a pigeon
Yeah.
with a cup of tea in his hand, and that's what I call
Fair play. All right. All right, so what you
That's the image
So
I'm just not going to be able
Berbatov,
to get
You're a
out of
rapper.
my
You're a
head,
secret
mate.
rapper. He's like a rapper, innit? I know.
Mate.
Berbatov started,
He's a
Jermaine
rapper,
Defoe
man.
and Robbie Keane. Who are you
That's what I
benching?
used to do. back
Caught a
in the
pigeon
day.
with a cup of tea in my hand.
It's like that
Be with
nasty,
the gang.
that's still mad.
He's too funny. He's like, yeah, I used to MC
All
too,
right,
mate.
Jermaine Defoe, Robbie Keane. Who you starting?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, who you benching behind Berbatov?
Robbie Keane bench and Jermaine, I have to get. Do you know what? He scored a lot of goals for Spurs, but he missed a lot of goals. For Spurs
fair.
well, so.
All right.
But I do like Jermaine. But
and the last one, I think I know what you're gonna say. So all in their prime: Son, Harry Kane, Gareth Bale. Start, bench, sell.
Gareth Bale.
Start.
Yeah.
Ahead of Harry Kane, yeah?
Yeah.
So, but you're benching Kane.
I'm not having Harry Kane because he's got so many goals for Spurs because it defeats the object of what Jimmy Greaves did.
Okay.
Because Jimmy Greaves, no matter how many goals Harry scores, and I love Harry Kane, don't get me wrong, but Jimmy Greaves was a different gravy, you know. So
legend.
Yeah, I'd have to put Bale because what that guy used to do on a football field was something else. You had to watch him.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit of that got taken out of him at Real Madrid.
Yeah, of course it did.
You know, but watching him take teams apart on his own.
He done it for Wales as well.
You know, and that last game he played for Spurs at home to Sunderland, and we were struggling, and that was the day when we was trying to get top 4 above Arsenal. And we knew Arsenal were winning, but we needed to win at least. But you know, we was 0-0 against Sunderland, and he just produced this magic goal on the volley, top corner. And you just knew he could do it, you know. But yeah, Gareth Bale.
Got a question for you.
So hold on. So who you benching, Son or Kane? And then who you selling?
Bench Kane all day
That's
long.
great. Okay, selling Son.
Son's out of it.
Yeah.
Got a question for you. Would you rather
Oh, here we go.
go on a month-long romantic cruise with Daniel Levy?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You can't avoid him, right? Or Harry Kane goes to Arsenal.
Harry goes to Arsenal.
Fair play, man.
You got another
Fair
one?
play.
Harry all day long. All day long.
You just made that up.
Yeah, I just made it up. Could you not tell?
Well,
Right. Would you rather get stuck in a lift with Daniel Levy for 48 hours, right? Or Harry Kane goes to Arsenal?
Harry goes to Arsenal.
Nah, surely stuck in a lift with Danny Levy.
Listen, there's a lot of things that this man has done to us. You know, listen, there's the positives. I give him the positives of what he's brought in the stadium, the build. You know, we're working from it. All that's great, but there's a lot more in depth regarding the football team and the surrounding areas as well. You know, let's not forget that, because Tottenham, is a very.
I said I'll never go back there again, and then we were there. Like when I went there for a Tottenham away game, I was like, I'm never coming back.
The vicinity, the people, the businesses, the residents, the churches, the schools, everyone needs supporting,
right,
from this institution, and they're not getting that support that they deserve. And the sad part.
Yeah, but you could say that about every football club.
I'm not having that. I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
City, for example, to be fair, have done very, very well for the community.
Because I hear Simon Jordan giving it, but it's a business. Now, do you know what? Manchester City's a business. Mm-hmm. But Manchester City puts a lot back in.
Yeah, they have, to be fair.
And the thing is, they give it. And the thing is, with this person, it's all about him. And the people below him do exactly the same. Because obviously it's coming from the top, and the behaviour is shocking for the whole area. And on top of the fact that you're watching your fans walk away, and you know, I see Arsenal, right? This is what happened 2 weeks ago, right?
He's green with envy, literally.
Do you know? No. This is what I can't work out. Arsenal played Man City 2 weeks ago. Last week, was it?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, just a little.
And I watched
5-1 victory.
I watched Arsenal fans walking past, and I was saying to the people around me, "Have they lost or something?" 5-1. You beaten your closest rival, and it was just like a normal day.
Yeah, that's what it's like being an Arsenal fan,
I'm
man.
thinking if we beat Man City 1-0. We'd be partying in the streets to the next week. And I just don't understand how these people with this mentality, and I get it, because I've seen you guys in the last 2-3 years where you've been 8 points clear and you're not even celebrating. And I'm like, if that was me, I'd be jumping for joy. But
We're scarred, man.
You knew who was chasing you. So that's the reality that's set in. And I look at our fan base, and we don't know our identity as a football club, and the fans have detached themselves from this football club, and this should never happen. It should never happen. And you know, it's painful. It's painful to watch.
Again, Matt, to be fair, I feel like it's not just Spurs. I feel like football's becoming that way because...
No, I'm not having that.
No. The reason why it's becoming that way is it goes down to the point that you were making earlier where football's a working man's game. Football's a working man's game.
It is.
But it's been taken from the working man and given to the men with money now and people with money and corporations and organizations. And with that, like you said earlier, comes the tourism, comes the sort of, you know, going and spending £1,000 or 500 quid in a mega store. That's what they want now.
But hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Read me outside the Man United, the Chelsea, the Arsenal, the Liverpool, the Man City. Outside that, read me who's won the FA Cup.
Recently, Man United.
No, not recently, in the last 24 years.
Well, it's predominantly those clubs.
No,
but then you've got
outside that.
Wigan Athletic,
Portsmouth.
Leicester City.
Where's Wigan?
League One.
League One. Where's Portsmouth?
League One as well, I think.
League One as well, yeah.
The Championship, I think. Yeah, Championship.
Right. So look at these teams, and they've managed. Do you know how
Even Leicester have been relegated and come back up. Yeah.
and
Leicester won the
Leicester
FA
won
Cup
the
as well, yeah.
So how many games does it take you to win the FA Cup?
5, 6.
6.
Mm.
6 games. Not 38.
Mm.
6 games. In 24 years, you're telling me you can't do that.
Mm. Fair point.
You're
Fair
looking
point.
at a football club there.
Yeah.
You're looking at a football club there
Mm.
that, and I said this to people that I know that obviously the younger generation that they can't relate to. Wembley was Tottenham's second home.
All the time as well.
Why? Because they never lost a cup final there, and they won, and they were making songs. 8 times we won the cup, and number 9 is coming. I know Coventry won that year, but 8 times they were the record holders. Nobody got anywhere near them.
You seem hurt, Matt. You seem hurt.
Since this man's been at the helm, Man United and Arsenal have gone 6 above us. Not 6 in the last 6 months. 6 to win 6 FA Cups, more than Spurs when they were below Spurs at the time. It tells
still
you.
gone on to win something.
And you know what? You know what? We could live another 50 years, and we will with this
regime.
And I'm not talking about the owner. I'm not talking about the chairman. I'm talking about everybody else, the executive directors, all of them. And I won't take one out and they leave and they can stay. They can all go because they're part of the problem, and nothing will change.
Yeah, we're going to do the weekend's predictions. So, quick fire round. Just tell us what you think the score is going to be. Obviously, 11 fixtures this week because the Merseyside derby, which got postponed due to the weather the other week, is back on. So, Everton v Liverpool, Merseyside derby on Thursday.
Just do the weekend game.
I'll do the weekend game. I'll do Everton Liverpool. I'll give you the prediction for that.
Go on, then.
1-0 Everton.
Interesting.
Where you going?
I'm going 1-1.
I'm going 1-0 Everton. I think
I'm
Liverpool's
going 2-1 Everton. Come on, you toughies.
Come on, the Toffees.
2-1.
I'm going 1-1. I think 1-1 as well.
I think Liverpool gets stuck this week because they'll do a turn on them.
Right, Friday night kickoff. You got Brighton v Chelsea. Frank?
Well, they just played each other in the FA Cup, didn't they? I'm going 2-1 Brighton again. I think Brighton will beat them again.
No,
Matt?
I think they will. I think it'll be 1-1.
2-1 Chelsea.
I'm going 2-1 Brighton. Leicester v Arsenal is the early kickoff on Saturday.
Dodgy early kickoffs, isn't it, gone, Frank?
3-1 Arsenal.
4-0.
To Arsenal?
I hate
I was going to say. Oh, swear.
1-0.
Thank you, man. I was going to say 4-0. I'm going to go 4-1.
I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
Oh.
Aston Villa v Ipswich.
Bit weary there, really?
3-1 Villa.
Oh. Yeah, that was close. I would say 4-1. I would have gone 3-1.
3-0 Villa.
I'm going to go 2-1 Ipswich. I think this is an upset. Don't know why. It's just a hunch.
Nah,
There's no logic to it whatsoever.
You just had to be different, man.
Yeah. I've always just wanted to be different. Fulham v Nottingham Forest. That's a great game at Craven Cottage. 3 p.m. kickoff.
Let Matt go first. Go on. Fulham against Forest.
2-1 Fulham.
I'm going 2-1 Forest.
I'm going to go 2-2.
I'm going 1-0.
Tough game, yeah.
Next game, Man City v Newcastle, another belter, 3 p.m. kickoff Saturday.
3 p.m. Who's the 5
I
o'clock
know.
game?
I know.
5:30
it's
is
going-
Palace against Everton.
What? What is going on, bro?
Hey, listen, respect the Everton fans, man, and the Palace
but you've
fans,
got a
man.
big
Yeah,
game.
I know,
but
I
come
know,
on,
I know.
City v
Come on,
Newcastle.
man.
Everyone
Chill
wants to
out
see
on-
that one.
You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Right, go on then. So, Marco, you
would
go
they do that,
first.
yeah?
I'm going to say 3-1 City.
Would you reckon?
2-2. It's gonna be a close one.
I'll say 2-1 because it never ends up like that. Those sort of games. 4-2.
So, City.
Yeah.
I'm going 2-1 Newcastle. I think Newcastle.
Away from home.
Yeah, City have been awful this season, and I feel like on the counter, I think Arsenal are going to do them with Anthony Gordon and your boy
Arsenal,
Murphy.
Newcastle.
That's what I thought.
Newcastle will do City. I think your boy Murphy and Isak and
My boy, yeah.
Gordon.
Take
Did he
those
score
words
on
out
the
your
weekend?
mouth. What you got? Hanging on to Arsenal.
No, because it's because of his top. It's because I just keep looking at his top. Right.
Next, you got the South Coast Derby. You got Southampton v Bournemouth.
I'm going 4-1 Bournemouth. Actually, do you know what? I'm going 4-2 Bournemouth. 4-2.
I'm going 3-1.
Bournemouth.
1-0 Southampton.
I was going to say that. To be different, I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton. I can't see Bournemouth not scoring. West Ham v Brentford.
Go on, Frank.
2-1 West Ham.
2-2.
1-0.
2-1 West Ham
That's a
as
close
well,
one.
I reckon.
That's a draw.
Crystal Palace versus Everton. There's, for some reason, late kickoff on the Saturday. I'm going to go 3-0 Palace.
Oof.
Well, they've got to do the Merseyside derby on Thursday. Then they've got to play on Saturday. That's brutal. Liverpool get to play the next
Is it
day.
Thursday?
Yeah, it's Thursday, yeah.
So it's Thursday and Sunday?
Then Saturday, mate.
No, they can't do it. It won't be 2 days.
Have I got my days wrong? It's either
Yeah.
Wednesday or
No.
Thursday.
It's but regardardless, yeah. What
Is
you
it
saying?
Thursday and Saturday?
What's your
What
result?
day
I
is
think-
it?
I'm
What-
going
what-
3-0 Palace.
No, it makes a difference.
Yeah, well, that's what. That's
Wednesday.
What
Wednesday.
Oh, it's
gotta be
Wednesday.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gotta
Wednesday, Saturday.
Apologies.
So what did you say?
I
3-1
said
Palace.
3-0 Palace.
3-0.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
2-0 Everton.
2-1. What did you say?
3-0 Palace.
I say 2-1 Palace.
I'm going 1-1.
Yeah.
Next up, you got top of the table, Liverpool v Wolves, 2 p.m. on Sunday.
3-1 Liverpool.
4-1.
1-0.
2-1 Liverpool.
Is
that everyone?
It's us.
Yeah.
Spurs Man United.
Yeah. Last but not least, the late kickoff on the Super Sunday, Tottenham versus Manchester United.
Minus 2-0. Minus 2-2.
Both lose.
Can we both lose?
Minus 2-2.
So that's that sign, innit? I just hope both teams lose. Seen that meme.
They both turn up and they both play bad. What happens?
Both teams are going to be up for it. It'll be a good game.
I think they'll do us. I feel like, because we can't really score goals at the moment. So I feel like, and they can. So I feel like it will be, I think, 2-1 Spurs, unfortunately. Kills me to say, I think 2-1 Spurs.
Really?
Back your boys, man.
I've got to try and be realistic, man. Like, it's just what my head's telling me.
There's. Can I pick 2?
Nah, 1.
Because I think
2 results.
no, this
It's
is
not how this works.
No, this is what I'm thinking. I think if Tottenham turn up, it'll be 3-2 to Spurs.
Yeah.
If Tottenham don't turn up, it'll be 3-1 to Man United.
No, we don't score that many goals. I'll be shocked if we score
Who's
more than
turning up?
one
Do you
goal.
realise who you're playing?
Who's turning up?
We lost to Ipswich and Leicester at home 2-1.
Yeah, but you'll turn up against Man United. You beat us 3-0 at Old Trafford.
I'm going to put my
Do you
neck out. I'm
realise-
going to say 2-0 Man United.
Do you realise when the last time Tottenham have done the double over Man United?
Doesn't matter. History goes out of the
No,
record
it
books a lot
doesn't,
of the time.
because it's a reality. It's never happened.
Go on then. So
It
what's
might-
the score then?
No, I'm just saying, if Tottenham... I don't think Tottenham will turn up. I'm not going to lie, because how that manager's hanging on, I don't know. But,
I hope you're right, to be fair.
I think it'll be 3-1 Man United.
I hope so.
Poor burger sales on Sunday.
No, but that's sad. I don't want that. I'm happy for...
We might see you on Sunday,
Do you
mate.
know what?
We might turn up.
I'm happy for a 1-0 come off his rear end. just so we can all be happy for a change.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Man United.
Yeah.
I hope you
You
boys
see
are
what I
right.
mean?
I hope you
I
boys
said,
are right.
yeah.
2-0 Man United.
You know,
We'll see.
We've got to end the show here. Yeah, that was the On The Bench podcast, man.
I could have said a bit more. My biggest thing was I wanted to point out was with the managers where they changed managers. You know, when Antonio was, I don't know if you noticed this, but the first 18 months of Antonio, not even the
Conte.
Antonio Conte. Yeah, the first 8 months to a year, the fans were singing his name. You know, Antonio, and Tottenham got top 4. And then it went sour. And then it was, I'll get him out. Oh, he ain't got a clue. He ain't played great football. He does that interview. And to me, as a Spurs fan, he was like, really? Is that what's happening in our football club? And everybody else was like, nah, he's an idiot. He ain't got a clue. And he's clearly telling you.
Yeah, of course
and then
he is,
they bring in Ange, a breath of fresh air. And then they start singing it. And then Robbie Williams' song and blah, blah, blah. And then what happens? A year and a half later,
Turn on him.
he ain't got a clue. He ain't got a plan B. Listening to all these people, the media just suck him and spit him out.
That's one hell of an outro.
That was going west.
But do you know what? Who sits in his comfy chair, leaning back and going, right, okay, I'll just pull the trigger. Because that's the bottom line. He's going to pull the trigger on him because it's his fault. And he's the face. It's like any manager. You're just the face of the football club.
100%.
Goes, man.
It's sad.
All right, that was the end of the Tottenham special. And yeah, that's the end On The Bench podcast. Please like, subscribe, comment. If you're down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, make sure you check out Matt's
North
8.5
London's
burgers.
finest.
His burgers are nice, they're really nice.
Don't even come out with the 8
Why do you-
10 out of 10.
Guys, the burgers are actually banging. They're really nice, man. They are good. They're
10
good
out of
burgers.
10.
They're good burgers. If you get down there, support him. What? You're going to do like a 10% off, they say, OTB or something?
Absolutely.
On the bench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you quote
On the bench
quote
podcast.
OTB burgers or something, you get 10%
You get
off.
10% off.
Come and see
I
Matt.
don't know if the ex-wife will agree, but we say we go with that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and that was the episode, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for coming on as well, man. Appreciate it, man.
No worries.
Thank you, man.
Top man.
What do we think of Tottenham?